Before we get started with, finishing up Maldraxxus really quick, I just wanted to show off something I found amusing. So, my warrior just hit 80, and I noticed I actually have a vault from yesterday, or from last week, excuse me. And so I was like, okay, well, what do we got? So it's a chest piece, right? So that's a 593 chest piece, and my current one is 449. You probably can't see all that text on the stream, but you can probably see how much green is on that tooltip. Yeah, it's a slight upgrade. Put on immediately, and then immediately have to change my transmog.
Just the thing, Wanderer.
And done. Anyways, I just wanted to show that off because that amused me. But no, you don't want to see any of this good content. You want to see Drek. I love how that dude who's already dead is the representative for Maldraxxus right there. Even though he is already dead. We've just finished his zone. He's already dead.
We all have a duty to fulfill. It would seem you must brave the horrors of the Maw once again. I know not how to locate this missing Maldraxxus Baron, nor our living allies, but I believe I can help you find Darien Mograine. That's a start, at least. Honored voice, we seek entrance to the Maw.
There is but one path to that dark realm. The same route all souls destined for damnation must take. But be warned, mortal. Though you escaped the Maw once, you may not be so fortunate a second time.
We know the risk. There is no choice but to try. I will aid you as best I can.
Take this amulet. One like it is carried by each of the 4 horsemen. The amulets are imbued with a power that links them one to another. That should help you locate Darien Mograine. No doubt Darien has witnessed countless horrors in the Maw. Yeah, I've been kind of busy, basically taking a vacation for the last 2 zones.
Go carefully, champion. Find Darien, and he will aid your hunt for the missing Baron.
Like, was I in a hurry this whole time? Sorry, nobody told me. My bad. Nobody informed me that I should be in a hurry. Yeah, I just got some popcorn. Corn servant. Hey, what's up? Anyways, into the Maw. Woo. Now, why is Oribos sitting directly over and has a direct pipeline to the Maw? Speaking of things that are badly constructed and make no sense. Oh no! The amulet the Baron that Bolvar gave. Oh my God! The amulet Bolvar gave you flickers with a faint red light and then grows dim. To be useful in finding Darien Mograine, you must find a way to restore its potency. Let's go to Zoval's Cauldron. Ah, home sweet home. Wait, the opposite of that. Ah! Slime's like, why did you bring me here? It's okay, I can bring you out. Thank. Yeah, imagine just wandering on Oribos. Whoops! Ah! and you're in the worst hell imaginable. And you can't escape. Like, railings, you know? Something? Oh, lunch was good, thank you. I mostly just shoveled it down my throat as fast as I could. I had work to do. You know, knowing how twisted they are, they were like, you deserve to be here. But I just tripped. You should have been watching where you were going. Only the truly righteous actually watch where they're stepping in Oribos. We have an entire section of hell just for you. Exactly, there's a specific place just for you. After all, there's infinite afterlives. That is a good question. Like, what happens if you trip over the edge of the maw? What is below the maw? I mean, we actually have an answer for that. What is below the maw is the in-between, but, like, does it loop? Do you fall forever? Do you eventually die of, like...
Speaks true.
Of, desiccation or whatever? The amulet burns hot in your hand. The magic that runs through it tugs tightly in your grip. Alright, let's try this thing. Okay. Yeah, if you fall off the edge in Outland, you're dead. But we know why you're dead. Here, it's like, I don't know about you, when I walk around in Outland, I have spikes in my shoes. See them. Conk, conk, conk. That would be really funny. You fall off the mall and you're free! You're in Oribos! And it's like, oh, cool. That was easy. Everyone, bail! Jailer's like, an OSHA requirement divided. Cannot withstand the railing that is to come. And he starts building rails all over the place. That'd be humiliating too. Whoa! What? That should not have killed me. Huh? You know, he has to keep his chain motif, so they're just chain rails. You can just pull them up and walk under them, or just step over them. They're really easy to bypass. Why is the music not playing? There it goes.
The brand holds the key.
Hey, sorry you've been tortured horribly for, like... Remember, there's time dilation, so you've been tortured for, yeah, years and years, and I've been off, like... I met an owl person, and he gave me drinks. He was so cute. Oh, God, Darian, you should have seen him. And I met, like, these people who were like, hey, could you please, like... send these gifts to each other, so I kind of played as matchmaker. I learned about the history, too, the history of the Bastion, and there was this, like, dude, he was like, hey, you know, I've lost my memory because of a tragedy. Please help me. And that's where the slime came from here. Come on out, slime. Come out here, say hi, Darian. And Darian's just like, you, jackass. Okay. What took you so long? Look, okay, I had stuff to do. Lots of stuff. Yeah, Bolivar could have sent a whole army of Death Knights in here. He has an entire army of Death Knights, but no. Ugh, fine, you get to die, though. Damn it, it was the other way. Why did he say that, though, Mr. Floyd? I wonder what the tips were. I'm also curious why he thinks D3 would require fixing, unless this was at launch, in which case, never mind.
You will fall, and I will claim another weapon for my collection.
Okay, at launch, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Walk back down. It's okay. I'm a paladin. I can barely speed this up. you don't ask, Act, then I'll never know.
My thanks, champion. Now that I am free, I should soon regain my strength. How long have I been trapped in the maw? A day? An eternity? Careful. The jailer's eyes are everywhere. You will never escape the maw!
Ah, I was curious what the Moorsworn were searching for. You are that mortal who swept through and thwarted the jailer's festivities. I am Venari, a humble broker trapped in this land of torment. I have a proposition for you. Come.
I love Venari, and I love her actress.
Why would you aid us, broker?
Your presence here draws attention. The sort of attention that's bad for my business dealings. No offense, of course. Have you come to trade, or to waste your breath?
I have never heard of it, no. I know what an ASMR is, but I haven't heard of that specific thing. Are you willing to listen to my proposition?
Will that be all, Mo Walker?
I also love the way she says that line. Maul Walker. Today certainly has been full of surprises. Now, mortal, I'm curious what has brought you back to the Maw.
Procure something of value.
So, mortal, you are here looking for someone. Well, it just so happens that, clever as I am, it's quite possible I know where they are. Allow me to propose a trade. That amulet can carry holds an interesting power. You give me the amulet, I'll help you find this Maldraxxus Baron. And then you will leave. I don't mean to be rude, but I prefer to keep a low profile. Allow me to speed things along.
I have picked up a few tricks to help me survive here. The jailer will take notice if you engage his forces, so it is wise to go around them whenever possible.
She's also a broker who's very good at hiding in the Maw. She's gone unnoticed for a long time.
I trust you are not followed.
It's quite a thrill to have a mortal for a business partner. The amulet really is intriguing. What's that? Oh yes, the Baron you're searching for. Well, it so happens I learned of a Maldraxxus warlord being held in the lower courtyard of Perdition Hold. As you might guess by the name, it's not the most charming of places. I would prefer to avoid the attention of the jailer's forces. Fortunately, I have just the thing.
Trust I can conceal us long enough to find your wayward Baron. Come along. Stay close. I do not wish to draw attention with a fight.
It's on Twitch's end, Czar.
How long have you been trapped here?
Longer than you have, mortal. That is all you need to know.
3 days. Yeah, there's a reason why I have an entire thing in my Discord specifically for notifying when I am live. There's a channel whose only purpose is there a message in this channel? If yes, then I am live. If not, then no.
Wait for the beast to pass. The Moorsworn are certainly eager to find you. We need to make this quick.
Do not rush us, broker. There are others who must be saved, along with the Maldraxxus Baron.
Ah, you speak of the mortals left behind when your friend here escaped. I fear they've been taken to Torghast. That tower, looming in the distance. The jailer keeps his most prized possessions within.
Then show us a way to breach that tower.
It would be folly to go after them now. Remain focused. There will be time for theatrics later.
This must be your missing Baron. Who is there? Must warn the Margrave.
Rorschach.
Voice. Can it be? The Baron is my father? Darian, after all this time.
So, Vosh worked for me. And there's a couple other ones that have worked for me. This one made me raise an eyebrow a little bit. I wasn't joking. We have more of these in general in Maldraxxus than we do Eros. And this is still technically a Maldraxxus one.
For us, there is no peace.
I expected to see him again.
The Knights of the Ember.
In the afterlife. Since crossing into the Shadowlands, I've been so focused on our mission I never even considered the souls of my family being here somewhere. Whatever this realm called Maldraxxus is, I hope it is worthy of my father's service. We must free him. There's much I need to say here. Yeah. Something else that's an interesting paradox about the afterlives. Because there's a weird thing, right? So we're in the afterlife. So automatically and without hesitation, you're probably thinking, oh, you know what? We're going to meet a bunch of characters that are dead, right? The problem is, that expectation that you would meet them runs immediately alongside the impossibility of doing so. It's a no-win scenario. If you meet characters we know, especially characters we know personally, the odds of that are so low, it's kind of ridiculous how much of a coincidence that is. To flip that, if we didn't meet anybody we knew from the dead, because this is the land of the dead and we have plenty of dead to meet, then why not? I honestly think there was no real winning that particular scenario. That is yet another reason why, if this was just other worlds, this would have worked out better.
We must forge our own destiny.
Did you think your presence would go unnoticed? You will not leave this place.
Yeah, nobody leaves them off. Blah, blah, blah.
Trapped. Well, go on then. Show us that vaunted might, mortal.
I showed her off a while ago, Puppies. Remember, there's infinite afterlife. No, I'm not going to stop making fun of that.
Not lost. Not
I cannot
yet.
thank you enough, Warcraft.
A shadow of hope remains.
It feels as if the Maw itself is sentient and taking notice of our presence. We must leave at once. Bolvar must be informed of what's happening here. I will bring my father with us. Lead the way, with haste.
We will see.
I suggest a tactical retreat. I will take us to a small alcove near the waystone that enabled your previous exodus. I believe this concludes our business arrangement. The waystone is just up that way.
By the way, note he's wielding we have Ashbringer at home, complete with the skull right there.
All mysteries will be revealed.
I'll get you and your associates out of here.
I will detain you no longer.
I believe it's time for you to leave. You are a Maw Walker, one who can activate the waystone between the Maw and the lands beyond. While your friends may not hold the same title, there's a way to send them through. Souls can be connected. In theory, if you let them attune to your soul while you activate it, you should both be able to leave. Even fleeting connections will produce results. Go on with the other two guests. See if my hypothesis is correct.
Do not farewell. Please, do not tell anyone you saw me. And if you find yourself leaping into this maelstrom of gloom again, I do hope you'll bring along something interesting to trade.
No promises. I never did finish a rep because this is Shadowlands and I didn't finish anything in Shadowlands. But I do like Venari. She's cool. One of those bright sunspots amongst Shadowlands story. Returned with others. That's astounding. No soul has ever returned once, let alone twice, with allies. A Mawwalker indeed. I'm a human in a suit of armor, and definitely not a robot. You know, I just realized there's one last sin I could lay at the feet of Oribos. The mini-map. Most city mini-maps help you navigate them. Look at that in the upper right there. I know I'm zoomed all the way out, but really take this in for a second. Like, let's zoom all the way in. Look at this. Look at this. This is meaningless drivel. This tells me nothing. There's no roads indicated here. Whoops, there's no roads. There's no paths, there's no labels. I mean, there's the stuff like, here's the trainers, but that's it. That's... wow. I'm going to give another negative to Oribos. For real. That's terrible. By the way, Oribos has successfully beaten every previous city for the worst city in the game. I know. Try to be shocked.
High Lord Foredragon, we've escaped the Maw. Thank you for your aid.
What news?
Your turn in one piece. And not just with Darien, but his father as well. You continue to succeed, Mawwalker.
Draka, we must return to Maldraxxus at once. Margrave Crexus is...
Our Margrave has been slain, Ashbringer. The Chosen need your blade, now more than ever.
No. And my warning comes too late. We have been betrayed by one of our own. It was Virez who had me trapped within the Maw.
Lorshok.
There can be no doubt that it was his hand that struck down our Margrave.
I was actually thinking about that, Mr. Floyd. As much as I'd love to believe that this place was rushed, and indeed the whole expansion was rushed and it shows everywhere, the problem is at the end of the day, what we're looking at is months of work here. Anybody who's done any visual design ever will tell you this is not something that was thrown together in an afternoon. So why is it so bad? Right? Like what? How did this slip through the cracks? How did this many people put this much time into making this place? Like, ignore how terrible the design is for a second. Think about, like, the texturing on the wall right there. Or these little knots at the bottom, the kind of snake knots, the motif. The filtering on the material. Like, this is still a lot of work we're looking at, right? I can tell you that fundamentally. Anybody who knows anything about visual design knows visual design takes a lot of work. And yeah, there's this huge, massive, lots of work put into it zone, and it sucks. Now, this is easy to explain. A map, yeah, this is the kind of thing that someone drew in like a few days at the high end. So that's easy to explain. The mini-map, again, these are kind of things that you kind of design after the fact. Whoa. Didn't mean to move that. And I could see that. I could see that being something that just kind of slipped through the cracks. But the specifics of zone placement and layout and NPCs and the routing and all that, how? I have a theory. Imagine for a moment that it's your job to make that right there. That texture, you see that? Now, ignore literally everything else for a second. Let's just look at this texture. There's a lot of work and effort put into that. You can see scuff lines, you can see cracks There's a lot of depth to it, even though it's actually just a 2D picture. The good shading, you know. Yeah, no, there's a lot of real, legitimate, well-done work done on that texture. Hang on. Same deal, right? There's a little pocket mark. There's like a little pothole right there. Over there's a bit where like just the outer, the layer that is peeling away, you know. And again, same general concept. Now these two things don't really work that well together, and you're probably already seeing where I'm going with all this. Now let's look at, say, I don't know. Let's pull this in. This is a good shot. This is technically like 3 textures, but just bear with me. So then there's this, the wall, right? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Someone put some time and effort and thought. We've got this copper look, got like the light blue, and then we've got the slate gray. Okay, I'm with it. Now, what I want you to picture is that someone made this, and then someone made this, and then someone made this, and none of these people were talking to each other. And somewhere along the line, they had all these assets designed, and all of the mesh, like the actual terrain collision boxes, you know, this stuff designed. And then at this point, finally, they started actually smashing these things together and being like, okay, where goes what? Because I was taking a look around earlier, and the problem is this whole, like, guts motif thing, the petrified guts, would actually work if it was done in the right area, instead of just being the floor texture. But instead, it's just the floor texture. It's even true out here, see? We've got it right here, contrasted with the circles. Honestly, the circles fit better, because the overall motif of Ouroboros is circles, right? It's in the name, Ouroboros, right? And we've got like the snake scale thing going on around this edge. I legitimately feel I'm doing a lot of talking to explain a simple concept. I think the people weren't really cooperating or communicating with each other in the office. They were just in their cubicle doing their job, and that's it, right? Then later on, someone or someones had to smash it all together into something. And this is what we got. The lack of polish is easy to explain. Like, even just the... Yeah, exactly. No system analysis whatsoever. Even the mounting thing, which is my personal biggest complaint about it. I cannot mount right here. That's something that's painted. They paint zones to be mountable or unmountable, flyable or ground. They could have pretty effortlessly just done a massive paint job over this whole place to make it all mountable. But someone somewhere was handed a note that said, okay, here's the mountable zones. You know, arrow, arrow, and then central section. And so someone somewhere, without putting any thought or oversight or management into it, painted the mount zones. And now we're stuck with this problem. And yeah, let's not forget that at this point in time, while the offices were on fire, they hadn't quite gotten rid of all of the chaff yet either. So that's a problem.
Thrumka!
Anyways, forgive me for complaining about Ouroboros for the 3rd time. Every time we've come through here, I've found out something new to complain about. This cannot stand. We must avenge Crexus and cut him down. He must have sent you to the Maw, expecting you would never return. He underestimated you. A fatal mistake. Go with Mograine, claim Vyraz's head. I'll warn our forces at the seat of the Primus.
Only this we depart from Maldraxxus at once. Vyraz will answer for his crimes.
I must return to Azeroth and tell our allies what we've learned, Father. But when duty allows it, I will stand once more at your side.
There will be time for us to speak later, my son. I swear it.
By the way, this is a great texture. The semi-chaotic yet so clearly constructed nature of that is a perfect visual storytelling bit. This so effortlessly indicates that this is the in-between, the chaotic energies of the afterlife, of the Shadowlands. And then we've got the bronze chunks with the blue centers in each of them to indicate the constructed afterlives amongst it. And of course, the giant sphere in the middle. Yeah, no, this is great. But you know what? Blade Duval has a perfectly valid and honestly probably more accurate take on that. it's entirely possible that the people who were painting the mount zones were told, okay, so just go paint the mount zones. And either they themselves or the person they told them that was following the normal rule, which is you don't mount indoors. And so they had to just kind of decide what counted as indoors in a zone that there's no real difference between indoors and out.
What do you seek?
So they just kind of came up with whatever. I actually would, Mr. Floyd. If you look around, and I showed you that earlier. I mean, even look at this statue here. The portal I just went through. The concrete on that looks old. It looks worn down. Agreed, Mr. Flood, Mr. Red. If I was designing Oribos, the whole thing would be mountable. Probably knock a hallway there, knock a hallway there to speed up movement, and rearrange some of the NPCs to make more sense. Move the runes down below, add some color and better distinction to the map. You know, a polishing pass. There was still no music playing. Yeah. No, the idea of being able to sprint instead of mounting is an old one. That goes back to Wrath. I'm sorry, what was the question? Remind me, Blake Duvall. Forgive me, I've had a really rushed lunch. Speaking of. Actually finish up Maldraxxus.
What is my task?
I cannot allow this wound to fester any longer. I will burn it close here and now.
I await the next battle.
Virez is the one who trapped me within the Maw. He's been long in league with the House of Rituals and the House of Constructs. No doubt he intended to trap you within that hellish place as well. It is time he be brought to justice for his treason. Stand with me and we will face him as one.
Ashes to ashes.
Come, shop, browse. Smell.
I'm gonna go with the classic here really quick.
Farewell, friend of the Grummels.
Crexus's will be done. Fire!
The relentless pursuit of victory.
What? What?
So the mortal returns, along with our wayward Baron. The constructs failed to finish you, and so did the Maw. How disappointing.
Your schemes have brought about your own ruin. Now we will end you!
Foolish Mograine, always valuing loyalty over might. But victory lies in one's choice of allies. And with their help, I now claim the mantle of Margrave.
I will bury my blade in your skull, traitor! For Crexus!
Sorry, it sounds like I misunderstood you, Mr. Floyd. I thought you meant, like, did it look...
Bested Crexus himself!
...worn?
You two are nothing.
We will avenge him! Here and now!
You know, used. Like, it reminds me...
Win, Virez. You are outnumbered!
...of...
Fool! All the houses... Enough games! Guards, slaughter these weaklings!
Honorless coward!
Ashbringer, Marwalker, with me.
Or we could just...
The
Okay.
seat of the Primus is under siege. We must defend it.
Okay. It looks like ruins, right? It looks like it's a facility that's been there untouched and slowly falling apart for centuries. It's the kind of thing you'd see in like a Fallout game almost, right? That's what I meant when I thought you, that's what I thought you meant. Excuse me. About that.
Always ready for battle. Every defeat is a lesson.
Chance to set up a prod spell. Whatever. To empower the final ruin, then open the door.
Strength will hold the line. Open the door.
I would. Would let me.
Slay the mortal! Bring me that rune blade!
Raise your sword, champion. For Maldraxxus!
The foes of the worthy shall be vanquished.
See, the Primus knew this was coming.
Hold back!
Because he plays 5-dimensional chess.
The seat of the Primus is ours!
I'm not joking. That's the explanation for that. He doesn't have any prophetic powers. He's just that good. Again, it's the Thrawn thing. Yeah, it's one of the things that frustrates me the most about Shadowlands is, well, I do think it has core issues that can't really be fixed. A lot of Shadowlands would land a lot better with just some extra polish. I mean, why would you think that that guy right there is the bad guy? I mean, for Christ's sake, I showed you the picture already. He literally looks like a necromancer from Warcraft 3. That is a very clear and deliberate callback to a very evil entity who was like iconic of the freaking Scourge. Oh my god. What do you want to bet? Because I've actually run into this problem. What do you want to bet they had like the sketches and the models made out, and they had to like decide which one got what, and they got down to the point where they need the Jailer and the Primus, and they've got these two models. This one, and that's just what they went with.
I am the Primus. Your presence within my sanctum means a darkness has fallen upon Maldraxxus and all the realms of death. Ages ago, the Eternal Ones punished our brother Zoval for his treachery. He was bound within the inescapable maw to be forevermore its jailer. Now I fear that Zoval did not act alone. I suspect he had ancient allies, and will seek to win others to his cause. That you are hearing this message means my suspicions prove true. Zoval has forged his chains into a weapon, and brought about my defeat.
Which makes no sense.
There is but one hope to save the Shadowlands. The Eternal Ones must stand together once more, before the Jailer escapes the maw. Bring my warning to the Archon, the Winter Queen, and the Sire. They must see to our defenses. Do not let Zoval reach the Sepulchre. The Arbiter is the final key. Protect her, or all is lost.
Yeah, how exactly does the jailer turn both the magic and his imprisonment to his advantage? Not answered. How does he extend his reach beyond to gain the allies who are mandatory for him to escape? Not answered.
Loktar!
By the way, that message we just listened to was recorded like years and years ago. Like before Warcraft 2 years ago. I just want to get across what I mean when I say he plays five-dimensional chess. He knew this was all going to happen, and he sent a message, recorded a message in preparation just in case. No, I'm not joking. That is the message he left before he went off to the Maw to go fight the jailer. And yeah, realistically speaking, it was probably bagrillions of years ago. But the absolute earliest that this could have happened is right after Warcraft 2. Even in his absence, the wisdom of the Primus rings true. The message must have been put here to await those who proved worthy of hearing it. She peers at you. You came to Maldraxxus to learn why the Bastion was invaded. Now you know that there's treachery in our ranks, and that there are noble souls who will set things right. Tell your allies in Oribos all you have witnessed. See that the warning of the Primus reaches the Eternal Ones.
In the name... Eternal Ones. The jailer. This is a dire message. Return to Oribos. Inform them that Maldraxxus will not strike at the other realms again. Our war lies within.
Yeah, there's a fairly obvious reason why so many people assumed the Primus, hi Kevin, hi Kevin, hi, was actually the real villain all along. Because, I mean, it makes more sense than this nonsense. But no, the jailer was behind everything. No, that's right. The Primus has infinite recordings. That would be hilarious if someone actually wrote a line like that.
Speak up, soldier.
I recorded an infinite... Oh, I need to do a side quest. I recorded an infinite variety of messages in case, you know, in case you ever came out. And it's like, someone... I just love it if someone's like, hang on. How long did it take you to record those infinite messages? It was about an afternoon. Huh. What is that? No, I have not played Hardcore Vanilla. I know quite a few people who have, though.
You look oddly hale today.
Okay. That's interesting. So far the side quests have kind of sucked. Let's see if the trend continues. Ah, mortal, how fortunate am I, humble Tyrann, happy to be standing here as you, the outsider everyone is talking about, happens to wander by. In the spirit of cooperation and mutual interest, there's a matter I wish to discuss. A nearby structure called the Sepulchre of Knowledge was built as a repository for military strategy. I fear the knowledge contained within may soon be lost. If you would do me the honor of escorting me to the Sepulchre, I can share what else I know.
For you, I offer only the finest.
Excellent. Walk with me, won't you? Sepulchre of Knowledge stores the writings of the greatest tactical minds who have ever served Maldraxxus. No, she's doing other things. Maldraxxus. Do you have anything else to say there? Or... After the disappearance of the Primus, the Sepulchre was magically sealed. None of that cheap lock and chain stuff. The remnants of this power have attracted devourers, ravenous creatures who feed on energy they find. Yeah, there's one right over there. What are the devourers? Don't ask questions. Unlike some other things, I've been thinking about this. I don't think I'm going to give a negative to the devourers. They're clearly an abandoned plot thread, but it's... Again, if we gave a negative for every abandoned plot thread, we'd be here all day. And it creates an odd precedence because those negatives would probably have to then kind of have like a marker so I can find them easily later in case they ever follow through on it. Because I was actually pretty good at, eventually, getting around to following through on story arcs. Just just like FF14 is, actually. And Guild Wars 2. So, I've decided to just kind of skip all that. Besides, I kind of like the Devourers as presented, and they are pretty consistent. They are tearing at the foundation of the facility. Soon they will destroy the structure and everything within. With your help, I can enter the Sepulchre and salvage key military knowledge before it's lost forever. Rumor has it that once inside the tower, there's numerous traps to be avoided. I'm sure they'll present no trouble to someone as skilled as you, though. I fear time, as you mortals say, is of the essence. Let us hurry. You were the dude just walking. Yeah, they could do some stuff with the Devourers.
All goods and services.
Here, I can finally show you one not like, oh, well, okay. As I say, not in a dungeon journal. There's actually a few types. They're all bug-coded, except for the occasional ones which are like big two-handed monstrosities. In fact, I would say the only consistency is the type of texture and the blue anima glow that comes off of them. So they're just whatever. I think the idea is they're supposed to be alien. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the intent is that every single one of them looks unique from the others. But of course, this is a video game with engine limitations.
Everything is negotiable until our next transaction.
The Primus placed guardians in the area around the Sepulchre to protect the knowledge within. Each embodied virtues of one of the 5 houses. To gain entrance, you must prove your worth.
Your patronage is always appreciated.
These mindless monstrosities hail from the farthest reaches of the Shadowlands. The anima drought has fueled their relentless hunger, driving them to seek new sources. Their presence here is inconvenient, to put it mildly. They tear at the land, searching for any anima they can find. We must thin their numbers to buy time to safeguard the knowledge locked within the Sepulchre. Exactly the sort of work you're accustomed to, yes?
Remember, everything has value.
Yeah, there's some interesting implications of the Devourers, and you could do a lot with it, but we'll see if they ever do. I will not mind if they never touch on this again. Shadowlands is one of those rare cases where I'm okay with them just walking away with it, walking away from it, and never looking back. So the House of Rituals demands that you kneel in order to show proper supplication. That sounds about right. I like how the Lich House is called the House of Rituals, by the way. I don't know, something about that just works. House of Plagues requires you to bleed, by the way. Can you stop tearing reality apart, please? It's a bit of a mess right now, I know. But please don't make it worse. The House of the Chosen requires a salute. I've always assumed it just has to do with the level of power they can channel, Mr. Floyd. Any skeleton can cast spells, but a lich is specifically empowered. Stronger, more durable, literally higher stats, right? In Warcraft 3, the liches channeled the energy of the Frozen Throne itself. The actual chunk of nether ice. That is, of course, long since retconned, but... Weakness... So who's this? Constructs. Require a flex! Hi, Elizar. So, two things I just realized. So first, I'm probably have to cut off early today. Second, and more frustratingly, there will be no stream next Friday. I have to take the day off in order to clean the house for visiting family. I don't think we'll be done with Shadowlands by then, but hopefully we'll take a bite out of it. As much as I keep being interrupted by things like fatigue. And the House of Eyes, which require stealth. Why a spider? Do spiders exist in the Shadowlands?
All goods and services for sale.
Oh, right, it's the Plaguelands. Never mind. Now that those guardians are dispatched, we can focus on unlocking the door.
Is always appreciated.
Gaining entrance to the sepulchre is no easy feat. Not only were the guardians in place, but an elaborate magical lock was created to seal the door. To open the way, the two obelisks which control the lock must be fed anima. Fortunately, there are some empowered crystals in there we can use for this purpose. Okay.
You struck a hard bargain. Good show.
Listen, it's fine. Blah. 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 Sorry. I'll stop. What, so you mean like turn all of the WoW quests into missions? Oh, Jesus. I don't know. 200 hours, maybe? Maybe longer, depending on how fast you go. There's a lot of story in this game, even if you condense it. There's a reason the World of Warcraft series is as long as it is, and that stopped at Legion. Sorry, I don't understand the question, Mr. Floyd.
May I tempt you with my wares?
Now that the door to the sepulchre is unlocked, we can venture inside. And by we, I mean you. Until it's safe, at least. The volumes within contain the collected wisdom of the greatest military minds of Maldraxxus. This is the third time I've said this. For the good of the Necklords, do what is ever needed to gather these precious volumes. It is safe to assume the books will be protected by traps. The Primus wouldn't want just anyone laying their hands on this knowledge. Once you clear a path, I will join you.
Until our next transaction.
Yeah, got an idea for a quest. You have to find very specific objects in a tower. So your minimap is going to be next to useless in finding them. Also, there's traps everywhere. And stuff that actually hits pretty hard. Figure it out. I do like the traps in here, though. Also, the books debuff you as you loot them. Because of course they do. I wasn't going to comment on the fact that the bookshelf is literally made of bone, but yeah, here we are. Teeth are a kind of bone, that counts. Here's a question. What do they make the paper out of? Always with the teeth. So what you're saying, Huthor, is they made the paper by the skin of their teeth. What? This is definitely not the real Ashburner, no. Oh man, there's another inconsistency. Sorry. Just... It's true. I've been hiding the mustache this whole time. I'm misunderstood, though, okay? All I want to say is that the sequel trilogy is not that bad. That's all I'm trying to say. Lol, Luthor. It appears safe enough to join you. I couldn't let you face the dangers all on your own, after all.
Everything is negotiable.
The rarest volumes are kept at the top of the tower, protected by an entity called the Archivist. This stoic guardian is incorruptible, intractable, completely uninterested in striking a fair bargain. It's utter a lack of business acumen is really quite upsetting. Oh well, I fear we have no choice but to dispatch this impediment.
Remember, everything has...
Actually, swap that. Sweet, it's a partially digested encyclopedia.
I live to serve, Mawwalker.
Volumes are not here. The archivist's final word may have meant something. A clue, perhaps?
Fortune and wealth to you.
Let us ponder the meaning of the archivist's last words. Victory only belonged to those brave enough to fall. It could be a reference to the volume of Victory. That is the most well-known of all the writings to be kept in this tower. That book is priceless. I mean that almost literally. We must do everything necessary to find it, but I suppose it means by brave enough to fall.
If you need anything.
Ah, well. There it is. The volume of Victory. Won't you do the honors? In case it's a deadly trap. The first volume of seemingly endless volumes of Victory.
For you, I offer only the finest.
This is it, the volume of Victory. The single most important compendium of Maldraxxus military history ever assembled. It must be mine. Ours. I meant ours.
Your patronage is always appreciated.
So, this is only volume 1. We can't just take the first volume. A rare item like this is only useful if it's a complete set. Grab as many other volumes as you can. I'll have to prepare a larger expedition to remove all these volumes.
Remember, everything.
Oh, I can't tell you how grateful I am for your help in acquiring these additional volumes. There's 49, 38, 583, 102, 98. Oh, no, this won't do. I must have them all. An opportunity like this will not come back again. I'd have to collect 72 more volumes. Hang on. I can go get 72 more volumes.
May I tempt you with my wares?
So much valuable knowledge saved. It would not have happened without your help.
Until our next transaction.
It's been a most profitable venture. I do hope we can work together again in future endeavors. Why did we do that? No, Elizar, just for you, and for no other reason, I've decided not to. Guys, I'm sorry, Elizar demanded that we don't play War Within Dragonflight. My bad. Do we have to finish Shadowlands? Like, do we really have to finish Shadowlands? Is it really incumbent upon us? Ugh. I've got to go lay down. I'm sorry. I'm barely keeping my eyes awake at this, or eyes open at this point. I'm sorry. I am just too tired. So tomorrow, we'll actually wrap up the last of Maldraxxus, and then we'll move on to Ardenweald. Finally get some frickin' Ardenweald in here, and give an absolute cavalcade of positives to the visuals. I'll see you guys.